explain something to everybody here and anybody who's actually followed me. Number one, I had no communication. I didn't know anybody at Safemoon when I started. I've been in tech for 15 years. Here I am, someone making YouTube videos because I believed in the project.
Yeah, we know.
I believed in what Safemoon was doing. I believed that what they said they could do, they could do. So I started getting proactive because that's who I am, and I started making YouTube videos and trying to help out the project. This was well before I had any communication with the team. As a matter of fact, I put $30,000 of my own money in at a high, at probably the peak. I got my fiance at the time to put in $15,000. Okay.
Can you
So
skip to the
hold
juicy
on. I'm
part?
not
We
done.
already
I
know all
want to
that.
make sure.
Hey, let him
Maroni,
talk.
shut
Let
up.
him
Is
talk.
she still
I
your
want to make
fiance?
sure.
Yeah, shut up. Let him
I
talk.
want to make sure I set
Jeez.
this foundation first so that everybody understands the entire story. Okay.
Okay, well, if you're starting from foundations,
Hey,
first,
can we mute her, please? She keeps interrupting.
First, if you said you want to start from foundations, so let's get one thing straight. I didn't call you a scammer. You came up here and said that I called you a scammer. I didn't call you a scammer. I called you a liar. A liar is different from a scammer. So there, that's the foundations. Unmuted.
365 is going to shit. Also, Coffezilla, just so you know, a lot of your work probably came from Amy, not just Bootsy and TNG.
I'm very well aware of who Amy is. Yeah.
Yeah, be nice to Amy.
So that's who Dollar is.
Okay,
Dollar is Amy.
can we let the Funhound finish? We brought him up here to hear his story. Can we let him finish, please?
All right. So as I was saying, yes, if you say someone's creating a scam token, you're essentially saying they're a scammer. I don't know in what world you're coming from where you say, oh, well, I didn't call you a scammer, but you created a scam token, or you're probably creating scam tokens. First of all, I've never created a token in my life. Okay. Now,
I didn't say you did. I called you a liar. You're just making shit up.
All right.
You're making shit up.
As I said, when I came into Safemoon, I came in to help out. Okay. I saw a few kids trying to build out a product. I've shipped and built many technology products, 2 of which were acquired. Okay. So I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to tech. So I came in, thought I could lend a helping hand, put in $30,000 of my own money, had my fiance put in $15,000 at a high, only to watch that money dwindle down to almost nothing. Okay, but what do? Do I sit on the sidelines and say, hey, you know what? Let me just watch my money fall and plummet and crash down to the ground, or do I get proactive and start trying to help out? That's when I reached out to the team. That's when I started building tech on my own and said, hey, I think I could have I think I have something that could help you guys, be legitimate, like really help out your company. Showed that to the team. They loved it. They were like, wow, we can't believe how much you got done. We would love to have you on board. Yes, please help us out. That was when Safemoon brought me in as global head of products. I got brought in to do a job, and that's like all I did is do a job. Me personally, I can't speak to all the things that are happening with private keys, what are happening behind the scenes. I don't know what was happening. I didn't have access to any of that information. I wasn't privy to any backdoor conversations. I wasn't privy to, private key housing and how money with Bitmart. No, I don't know any of that. As a matter of fact, when I came in as global head of products, one of my jobs was try to find out where all the revenue streams are coming from. So when I came in, I'm trying to figure out where all the revenue streams are coming from. Hey, I'm asking other team members, hey, how are we paying for this? How are we paying for that? As I'm trying to build out a revenue model, I can't because, all the pieces aren't there. So I can't really help anyways. So there's nothing much I can do. So I'm kind of blocked on that. I'm like, well, as long as my dev team gets fed and as long as we can keep pushing products like the app, like, all the other products that the swap and all the other products we've created, we're good to go. And I will bring my experience to the table and I will push the best damn app you guys ever had. And in that time, that's what we did. So that's
not the best damn app we've ever had.
Well, you know what? It was something from nothing. And we did that in a few months.
I just wanted to be clear. There's a lot of other things that were built better with a lot less money. And I'm not saying that you stole the money or whatever. So
and I'll tell you this, I was hired as an employee. I was paid as an employee. I was paid a salary every month. And that's what I did. And I came in and I did a job. That was it. So if there's
So what happened to the B1 honeypot?
What was that?
What happened to the B1 honeypot when you said that it was going to be repaid back?
So I wanted everything to be paid back to everybody. That was something I came to the team. I said we need to have a plan. Even though there was things that happened during the migration that forced the contract to be closed so that more hackers couldn't take advantage of the pot, it was, well, we need to now do something so that we can figure out, hey, what's wrong with the pot? Hey, we need to figure this out and make it right for the community.
So clearly, you were met with resistance. Can you say how far up the chain the resistance came?
That's the day that I got emotional. I was, and you know what? If I speak to what happened internally, I could be really walking on eggshells, guys, with my NDAs. You think I want to? All these lawsuits are flying. I'm already in a lawsuit now, where here I am as an outsider trying to help out my own investment, where I just got crushed on it. My fiance had drug into this. Here it is plummeting, okay? And then I'm getting drug into this. My fiance's like, well, she asks me all the time, what's happened to my Safemoon? I said, you know what? I've done everything I could. And now I'm being named on a lawsuit where it's like 50 to 100,000. Oh, you were paid to promote it. I didn't even know the team. I didn't even know the team. That's flat on its face. But just to represent yourself and just to say, no, look, here are my wallet addresses. This is when I purchased. Look, you can see on Twitter, there's even people at Safemoon that will that will agree that they never even knew who I was until after I made a few videos. So all of this I'm getting drug into as a consummate professional who actually builds tech and actually delivers products. And people are, oh, well, you didn't build anything. Really? I didn't build anything? Then how did that whole development team get started? How did the whole development team get built? How did the products start shipping? And why is it after I left, no products are being shipped?
What products?
I think the
Hey,
critique.
Ryan.
Look.
One
sec. I just want to add this real quick. I think the critique is this: you're fine to talk about how many great things you did, and that apparently doesn't violate your NDA somehow. But all of a sudden, when it comes to talking about the thing that everyone cares about, the internal going back and forth between John Karony, which could be a big proving of like whether there was fraud or whether there's intentionality or not. With that fraud, you all of a sudden you clam up and you can't talk. But you talk about yourself. I remember one of your posts about like,
up at all.
I'm a man of ethics. I'm a man of all this stuff. Well, ethics means standing up for what's right, even when it's not monetarily viable, right? Even when it's not a great idea to do it.
Okay,
it means,
so here, Coffezilla, here, I'll say this then. If this is the case, you want to talk about ethics? When I was met with resistance, I was harassed by the VP about when are you going to be in the office? When are you going to do it? No, I don't want you talking to me about blah, 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 blah. That's what happened to me. And then my job got threatened. I got put on the line, and guess what? Within a few days later, I quit. Okay? That's what happened.
I'm just curious though. How is it that you had an NDA, but Thomas, who left later,
the formation of the company, because they just, when you start a startup, a lot of those NDAs and everything, they aren't adhered to. There is no NDAs. Like when they throw stuff out, like for example, when you start a new startup, you're not throwing NDAs to your developers. Typically they're friends. You're bringing them in. You're just building stuff, and that's it. Look, this has been weighing on me, and you know what? At this point, fuck it. Like I'm really sick of this shit because I got brought into
fuck it, man. That's the attitude.
Let it out.
Fuck it.
And you know what? The other thing, I asked for legal representation, and John told me to kick rocks.
Let it out, baby.
Wow. Whoa, wait, he didn't fund you? He didn't fund you?
No, why am I being pulled into this? Why am I being pulled into this? This is not my fight. I have never had private I don't know what you're doing with private keys. I don't know what you're doing. I came in, I'm delivering products for you.
But you're a developer.
Ryan, good boy. You keep delivering products.
Well, he's not a developer.
And then guess what? I deliver products, they disappear. I deliver products, they disappear. And then, oh, hey, we're working on this, we're working on that. Great, that's cool. I'm working on the app. Great, that's cool. What I'm working on, I can show performance for. I can show results. And then I get.
But all we got was a forked wallet.
Hold on.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Hold on.
I don't know how everyone got muted, but I'll unmute everyone. But yeah, just let him finish.
Where's Safemoon
Connect?
Where's
Skyvix enforce hands.
Shut up.
So then
where's Safemoon Connect at? And what was it?
That's your
Safemoon,
product. That's literally
it
from
was my
you.
product. Yeah,
Yeah, and
we were
Maltese
very
had his
public with
hand up
that.
for like 20 minutes, man.
We were Safemoon Connect was my product. It was acquired from me. We were very public about that. A lot of this is public knowledge. A lot of this is, if you're connecting the dots, a lot of this is public. But you know what? It comes to a point where, why am I being drugged in a lawsuit? And when I ask, hey, like, this is not fair. I've pushed products. I've delivered for you. Am I going to be represented in any way? Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. What are you talking about? This is not my fight. I came in as an employee. You paid me every month on a salary. Why am I being drugged into this? I had no access to private keys. I never did anything of that sort. So why am I even being drugged into this? And
Well,
so
then there was the tweet, the load up tweet that you put out. That was an interesting tweet by you. And then the Safemoon Connect used to, like, what is that? What was supposed to be the functionality behind it?
My hand is up. I have a question. Whenever.
Maltese
Safemoon
was
Connect,
up too,
it
so
was
just let him
it was a
answer that, and then
technology. It
you're
was a
next.
product. It was a product built by me and acquired by Safemoon. And in my personal opinion, it was pretty close to being done. It was pretty close to being done. So if they don't launch products, I don't know what to say. I'm not there anymore. I don't work anymore. I launched them. I launched products. I let people be transparent. I let them bug test. They got in on it. They would submit tickets. We would get on it. I mean, look no further than, the actual results. And so, yeah, I left. Of course I'm going to leave, especially if I'm going to get,
Why do you suppose
especially,
if you left almost a finished product, why do you suppose they never
You're in the
Okay,
blockchain.
he's in the blockchain. Go ahead, Maroni.
Yeah, I wanted to ask him, the hound, if you can hear me. Do you ever see at any given moment 90 employees plus at the building?
no.
How many people were there?
Thank you.
Handful, maybe. But I
Well,
think
true
that part of that,
or false, the
was
reason you
also,
quit. Wait, true or
yeah.
false? The reason you quit was because the money was not being refunded back to investors.
I mean, that was the biggest reason. Yeah. I mean, there was other reasons. One of the other reasons was, hey, go kick rocks. We're not helping to represent you at all. That was another reason. And then also other things that happened internally that I didn't agree with as far as integrity goes. And nothing huge, nothing that you guys would be like, whoa, that's groundbreaking, nothing like that. But again, it was a vacuum. Like John's very secretive, and that's one thing you'll learn. I mean, he's a very secretive person, and so, if you go in his office, or you go talk to him, whatever it is, he's very secretive. So if there is things like people are talking about Bitmart liquidity pool, I don't know. When I first came in, I did try to get all the revenue channels and see where all the revenue was coming from, because obviously as a global head of products, you want to see where the revenues are coming from, so that way you can build revenue models around that. Well, if I get locked out and it's like, oh, Ryan, nope, we'll take it from here. You're good. You don't need it. Like, okay, then I won't work on the revenue models. Then I'll just work on product delivery.
Hey guys, if anyone doesn't have an immediate question, if you could just pop down, we can get some more people up, and then just put your hand up right away.
I go down,
We'll
Sky. I come back later.
Okay, I'll cycle everyone back up. It's just we had like 4 people waiting for a while. So.
Going back to, and Ryan, tap into this if you want to, and also, guys, like when I say it was compartmentalized, I fucking meant it. Even in HR and stuff like that, like I meant it. And my consensus of everything is that people were brought in to play into a scam of pump so that people could take money after pump. And there's innocent people that were truly taken advantage of in this circumstance. Why were products not delivered? Because products possibly were never meant to be fully delivered, but that doesn't mean that the devs or the project managers knew that. And it's like once the money is taken, the pump has already happened. That's just my 2 cents. That's my personal opinion on it.
Go ahead, Crypto Control.
Hey, I was just wondering, is Coffee's question for Fudhound that if he knew something about what has happened with John and the fraud, that he should come out and tell it? Is that what your question was for him?
Yeah, but I think what the Fudhound is basically saying, or Ryan is saying, is that he didn't have access to a lot of that stuff, that he came in as global head of products. He couldn't figure out where the revenue streams are coming from. He now is admitting that he did quit primarily because people were not going to get refunded, as well as some other issues. I mean, I guess my thing is it does seem like you just didn't have a lot of information, Ryan, if what you're saying to us is true. I mean, obviously, I don't know. But I do think it's important that you come out, and if you do have any information or any internal documents that reveal wrongdoing, I mean, now is the time to kind of bring them out there.
100%. And you know what? I saved a lot of records on myself just to cover my own ass. You know, I screenshotted a lot of stuff on Slack just to save my own ass.
What kind of stuff?
Just things that would show that I'm not just pulling this story out of my butt, you know, and things that show that there's a trail, a record of me trying to do the right thing, always trying to do the right thing. And yes, I am a man of integrity. I've always tried to do that. I've always tried to do the right thing. And obviously, if I'm going to push out a product and I say, hey, here's the deadline here, we're going to try to push this out, we're going to go after it, I'm going to work my tail off to get that mission done. And if someone else is saying, you know, on the back end or leadership or whatever, saying, you know, trying to get my way or do things like that, then what happens to the influence I have on the company? I have no influence. And at that point, towards the end of my time there, I had no influence. I was trying to do things by the book. Hey, this is how we need to track this. This is what we should do. This is how we need to get developers in. You know, I came in to do a job as a professional, and I would hope that people would see, at least from the results that I produced from the small time that I was there, that I did my job. But at the end of the day, when it comes to coffee, when it comes to, you know, integrity and that kind of thing, it's like, yeah, there's also a fine line of, you know, you just even mentioned it earlier, John's, you know, now suing his mom, you know? So that's like a whole nother thing that, okay, well, we're gonna, you know, I don't like what Ryan said, and, you know, we'll go ahead. Now, if that were to happen, I'll tell you this, I have a lot of records I can come out with internally that I've saved and covered my butt, and I've always done things by the book and always did things right. And, you know, I think my frustration about this whole thing is that, A, getting attacked by these people that follow Safemoon, when it's like, why are you attacking me? The product you're using right now was built because of me and my team. Why are you attacking me when I was out here always trying to look for the betterment of the you know, of the community? Why are you attacking me when I essentially brought up in a community, you know, a space, saying that I had every intention to make sure that everybody gets paid back on that V1, and then I get reprimanded the next day? Like, how are these people getting mad at me for trying to look after them?
Well,
But
yeah,
that's
it's
no, but that's
insane.
part of my
But
question.
did you get
So
reprimanded by
you
Joshua
said
Chilcutt?
you said towards the end
Venom
of
had
your
his hand
time,
up.
towards the end of your time at Safemoon, you had literally no influence. Yeah, you said that yourself. So why
Virtually
would you
when?
then?
Wait, when? No. Towards the end, yes. Towards
Yeah,
the
towards the
towards the
end.
end, my influence in
So towards the end, you had
yes.
no influence. Yet you went on a space and you guaranteed holders from the V1 honeypot were going to get their money back. Why do you think people will not be pissed at you for that?
I think people would be pissed at me for that because
The
they don't know
pin
the whole
post.
story. I can't just say, look, I'm global head of products. Sure, I have a lot of decision-making power, but if someone above me says, no, we're not doing that, there's nothing else they can do.
But if
I
you
can
had no
try to do the
influence,
right
why
thing
would you say that?
because that was the internal conversation. That was the whole point. We were trying to work for that. We were trying to work towards that.
But can you understand why people would be pissed if they thought they were getting their money back from the honeypot and they're still waiting?
Yeah, of course they would be mad. But
Yeah,
but
that's
obviously
why.
I'm going on record trying to say that I'm trying to help people. And I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to. So it's misdirected is what I'm trying to say. And that's the problem here is that people aren't really, they're just kind of going, but it's Twitter. I get it. It's Twitter. Okay, well, this, you said that and this. It's at the end of the day, my frustration is I'm drug into this. I have been very clear about me not really knowing, and I'm sure Carly can attest to this, things were very compartmentalized. So so if there are claims about like what Coffezilla has uncovered and what other people have uncovered, if there are claims about this, well, it's possible. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about it if I don't have all the information. All I can do is speak on behalf of myself.
Well, can you speak in behalf of like the weight of the evidence, right? Like obviously, okay, you might not be 100% sure, but if you could kind of weigh it all out in your mind real quick and tell us, knowing what you know now, given your experience with the company, knowing what you know of John, do you think Safemoon defrauded investors? Yes or no?
I don't know, but I think it's concerning. I
Look,
think what you have
I'm also
uncovered is concerning, and I've looked at it and I've talked to several people, and I've talked to several people in confidence, and I said I'm not going to say anything because I don't know what's going on. I don't have the facts. This is a constant suit that's going through. But if this is true, I'm very concerned, and I want to distance myself very far from that because that is not who I am as a professional. And
Coffeezilla, I'm sorry, I'm going to chime in here really quick. Coffeezilla, also, I think that it's very important for everybody that's in this space. While you guys are asking questions, you also have to consider that not everybody has the freedom to just answer questions. Personal security is really important. And the crypto space is dark and fucking wild. And so you have to be careful about what you say. Maybe because you don't want to. Yeah, I know, Matt, you want to hear all the dirt, but maybe not because you don't want to tell what you know, but because things like your child's life has been threatened and you had to have cops sit outside of your house, or because you have people that have intense amounts of money and strong legal teams. And so it's a very hard position to want to be integral, but also want to survive a really fucking dark space. Not everybody is as ballsy as you, Coffeezilla. They're really not.
I'm
And
sure
that
that
has to be considered.
but I'm sure that he understands. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but like just us, and I don't have a following like he does, but I've had threats, so I can understand.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
have
think
people sending me thumbs down emojis right now, and that's really great that you're not sitting in the position that people like Ryan and myself, and even Coffeezilla and Sky and Vix and all, and Amy and stuff like that. Like, it's a real fucking concern, is personal safety. And so that
You're
has to
absolutely
be
right.
considered.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, all I can do is ask the question because I don't know everyone's personal
Right.
circumstance, right? So I just
And I
ask the
respect
question,
that.
and you can answer or not. The thing is, I will tell you, my experience is these people hide behind enough people ducking their head, right? That's how they get away with this stuff. I've seen it time and time again. And this
CEO, and she had like an employee with her that was like basically the lead of the entire development, and and how they use NDAs and contracts and that kind of thing to kind of silence them, and there was a lot of things that on one end, cool, you could do the right thing and stand up, and then on the other end, you have this legal body bounding you from saying things, and and from coming out with anything. So and then you get the full weight of the legal system, or you get the full weight of the firepower. So obviously there's a balance, and for me, for anything I said today, I'm not, a lot of it's public, I'm not bound by anything. And like I said, I've kept records. So at this point, I'm just really getting sick of the ongoing, like, oh, what was your part in this? And oh, you created scam. It's like, no, I came in as a legitimate professional that had been in the industry for 15 plus years, and I tried to build something great because I believed in the
You said you were leaving. Just go.
and that's it. And that's all I can say. And I, like I said, I hope whatever matures from this, or whatever results from this, I hope that it's all positive, and I hope that it gets down to the truth. And that's the best I can say about all of this.
Ryan, before you go, I just have this to say, like, you're like, in terms of like figureheads and shit within our community and stuff, like, we have a lot of people who want something that's like decentralized and that's legit. Like, I don't see, why don't you use your experience and your skills to like benefit that? Like, you have a community right here.
I
You're
think
one of the good, why not?
I think honestly the biggest thing is that what we have right now in DeFi is not even DeFi. I mean, we'd have to take a steamroller and completely destroy everything and start over. I mean, we say we're DeFi, but yet we have centralized smart contracts that on a whim, any owner can say, oh, we're going to blacklist this wallet address, or, this whales, we're going to hold this, or we're going to do that. It's like, I feel like if there is any project that I was a part of, number one, and I've learned this the hard way, and I'll tell you this, guys, I've learned this the hard way. And Coffezilla, this is something too, I think I don't know if you've ever dealt with, but when you become a figurehead for, say, a company, and you're the driver, what I mean, like, you're the one who's getting shit done, you're the one, building products, delivering products, whatever it might be. If you're out there and you're in the public face, or the public face of the company, what will happen is if something's wrong with the product, they're going to go after you. They don't really care about the CEO anymore. They don't care about even the company's Twitter anymore. They go after you, and you get blamed for everything. So when I say this, I mean, if I'm ever going to do a project, I'll do it, and I'll have 100% control over it, where I have the final say. Where instances where, hey, we need to make that right. No, I have final say. It gets done. Nobody else tells me what to do. Nobody else.
So you're launching a project?
Yes. No,
this is decentralized, right?
No, I'm not launching any project anytime soon, guys. I don't know.
Cool. Let's get to DeFiable.
Oh no, I just wanted to ask Coffee if he could check his DMs whenever he gets a chance.
What the fuck?
Okay. If that's all you got, there's a bunch of people who want to come up.
Yeah, someone else up here. Okay, Cold Deep is next.
Thank you so much. Before the Hound leaves the room, good evening, everyone. First of all, Hound, see, it's nice that you were asked so many questions by so many people over here. Interesting people, I know. See, you were concerned about the things, the questions which are unanswered and which you are confused about. Absolutely. And you have done a marvelous job in uniting the Safemoon community at that particular moment, a year back. So hats off to you for that matter. But right now, I would like to add some points from my own. That see, I've been watching the blockchain very carefully. And when we used to purchase, we used to throw in 32 BNBs at the same time. I think we have invested around more than $500,000 at that particular instance. And we still have so many 32 BNBs in hand, just in case. And we have so far come up with this orbital shield, which is something unique over here. And we still have spare so much amount of BNBs left to come up, to produce a product like exchange or blockchain, whatever it is. So certainly it's not been rug pulled yet by anyone, by the CEO or anyone else, right? So the funds, if at all, if I've taken out from the LP, those were specifically mentioned to take out for the development of the product, for the development of the company. And if at all it is questioned that there is no one working inside the company, then how come we are having these products and the updates and so many things right around the corner, right? We have the orbital sheet. It's patent pending. So it's my duty to come and speak and just remove the
What's your
curiosity
point?
or the
What's your point?
concerns you have. Thank you for letting me speak. Yeah.
Bro, right around the corner is Safemoon's MO. It's always been right around the corner, hasn't it? Yeah, no, I think the whole thing about, oh, we have so much B&B, we have so much B&B, it's
The
all
maxis are
always been
coming up.
used for the development team, for the development of Safemoon. I mean, I think you can say that to John's $5 million. I think you can say it to the millions of dollars of real estate holdings he has. Do you think that getting paid somewhere in the range of, at minimum, $7 to maybe $20 million would be a good first-time CEO's salary within the first year?
I would like to comment on that. Uh, at the all-time high, the valuation of the company was around $5.5 billion. And if I am the CEO of the company, if I'm the founder of a company, or I have.
Guys, sorry, I muted. I'm seeing a lot of people throw thumbs down, and I don't think anyone wants to listen to this idiot. Throw a thumbs up if you do want to listen to him.
That's fucked up, Amy.
Yeah,
I think
Coffee, the Safemoon maxis are starting to come up, so you're gonna get your wish.
So I say carry forward with it.
Yeah,
let
it happen.
Safemoon Sam go. I want to hear what Safemoon Sam has to say.
Safemoon Sam's still here. Yes, dude, bring him up.
Yeah, he is.
Where's Safemoon Sam? Is he still believing?
What up, baby? So I just want to say a couple things. Appreciate hearing from Carly and the Fudhound, and trust me, guys. When people like Coffee and the rest of the Fudders say, "But why don't more Safemoon employees expose themselves to the internet?" Well, these are reasons why. Because you're literally getting doxxed, you're getting trolled, you're getting people threatening your lives, and this has historically been a thing, right? The space is a dark space, right? Anyway, let's move on to something that I really want to briefly talk about. We're talking about integrity and talking about the truth, and then simultaneously we're talking about a lot of speculation and allegations, right? And let's just get those things clear and set where they are. So I just want to say I love researching all this stuff. I spent months and months investigating all of Coffee's allegations with a team of 3 to 4 people volunteering, unpaid. None of us make money off views, I don't sell you anything. I don't make money off of anything. I have zero incentive. I'm not paid by anybody. So we spent time investigating.
You got that bag. You got that Safemoon bag.
Sure, yeah, I do. Yeah, that could be said as an incentive. Sure, but I don't care about losing that. I make money I can make money any day. When I invest in something, Coffee, let's get this clear. When you join an investment, whether it's a stock or whatever it is, when I invest in something, I fully understand this is a risky endeavor. And when I do that, I set aside money that I'm willing to lose. Meaning, I'm not going to sit here and freak out if the price goes down 20%. Anyway, so my point is,
freak out if you get defrauded?
Wait, let me finish. I know you love cutting me off. Let me finish. I'll let you talk. So I love how you talk to the ginger, right? Talk to the ginger and took his video, who is a whistleblower who doesn't like John. And he said that people were impersonating core team members and passing along fake information. And you took that, and Safemoon figured that out, and they were going after these people. And these people were deleting their Discord messages, and you took that, and you said Safemoon was deleting evidence to hide from an FBI and a lawsuit. I talked to the guy you got the video from. It was a bunch of bullshit. You flipped the script on what that meant 180%, and that's bullshit when you're trying to tell people the truth. When you're making speculation and making people nervous about their investment, I think you have a duty to tell the truth and not to make fucking assumptions or to take a story you know the truth on. I asked him, did Coffee know the full story? He said, yeah. I gave him the full video, which has the full context, and I told him the story. He knowingly changed this, and I'm not responsible for the things that he did to the video and to the information I gave him. And the same thing with Papa. You had a 2-hour-long conversation with Papa. That video remains unlisted on your YouTube channel, and you take information out of it, speculally, to make it fit your narrative. Now, I'm not saying you are right or I'm not saying you're wrong. I am saying the practices that you do embellish your story and sell your narrative, and that's not a right thing to do when you're making people nervous. That's all I
Can I
Is
answer
Papa
now?
still down
Can I
there?
respond
Papa,
now?
get the fuck up here.
Can I
Papa's still down
respond?
there? Get up.
Okay, so real quick, we've already discussed this in the last 2 debates we've had, or I think I talked to you both times, maybe just one debate. I've already addressed this, but real quick, let me cover it. No, I didn't take anything out of context. Also, this hilarious thing about Papa, when you're talking about Papa, I literally put the full interview online. The only reason you know that full interview exists is because I literally uploaded it to my channel, linked it at the top of the fold in the video. And so I don't know why you're saying like you're implying
How many
that I was
views
somehow
does it have,
hiding
Coffee?
it. So
How
if
many
you
views?
want to say,
200?
Why does that
Who
fucking
cares
matter?
about the
wait,
views?
Why does
Views
that
don't
matter?
no, real quick, because he's saying like I'm like hiding this evidence or something like that. Just to be clear, people don't want to watch a 2-hour call. They want to watch the full. They want to watch like the version that makes sense, right? The version that's like digestible. But if you want to go through the whole 2-hour call to make sure to fact check me, you can go ahead and do that. So I noticed you didn't say anything in the 2-hour Papa call that I actually got out of context. And I also noticed you don't seem to be taking issue with the evidence that I'm talking about, right? Of John Karony, how he got these $5 million, these $2.5 million houses, these other $1 million houses, right? Where is your outrage about that? I don't understand. You're outraged that I put an unlisted video on my channel voluntarily and linked to it in the top of the fold so that everyone could go to it and fact check it. But you're not mad when John Karony doesn't respond every single time his project is accused of these horrible things, right? He's had every single opportunity to respond and debunk all these accusations, and yet he's nowhere to be found. His family doesn't even like him. He's suing his own family, and yet you like him more than his own mother does. I'm just confused where this love, since you're so unbiased, you have no incentive except for all the Safemoon you hold, where your outrage is.
Yeah, sure. I'll say that I'm a reasonable, logical person, and what you have is evidence of. Can I finish? Are you going to interrupt me? I let you talk.
Give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up if you think. Give a thumbs.
Hold up, okay? Okay, Safemoon Sam, you speak very rudely to people, so that's not going to get you very far. I want to let you to continue to talk, even though the last time you talked to Coffezilla, it was like 4 hours of nothing. But we'll let you get to the bottom of your point here, and then there's hands up, so carry on.
Sure, I'd love to. And I'll start by saying this. 365, last time I had a coffee debate, and Coffee, for the record, I only debated you once because I'm a busy person. I'm sure you are too. But for the record, we only debated once. We didn't talk about that. And 365, the people who love to fudge.
Calm down.
This is my tone of voice. I'm Arab. We are very passionate people. Let me just talk. God damn. So
passionate and logical.
There was a poll from 365.
Sorry, guys. I was in a meeting. I hope
Oh,
everything.
yeah, that must have been an accident.
No, that was.
Just let him finish. Let's hear this.
No,
that was me. I
don't know who's doing it.
Me, I'm doing it. Stop with the
Amy?
fucking sound.
It's probably
Guys,
glitched.
Vex, I don't think Sky
Can you
can
tell
hear
Brain to shut the fuck up?
Everyone,
Just let him finish, bro.
I don't think Vex and Sky can hear each other. Sky, can you hear Vex?
No, I can't hear Vix at all.
Worst 365 I've ever been in.
Okay, Vix, shut up, Mickey. Vix, I'll be like right back. I'll just close it and open it again.
I think Vix just needs to close the space and open his app again.
Yo, Sam, you also gotta realize Coffee's an entertainer. Like, he's
there's a difference between making entertainment and making speculation and making people sell at the bottom of the market based on that speculation, and then using that.
My God,
strong arm people with facts that you twist.
YouTube,
that's
not
entertainment.
Strong arm people with facts.
Sam, the evidence, bro. So Sam. So evidence or like how you feel about his videos and the tone that he delivered it in aside, he has presented factual information about where money has gone and where money has moved to. How do you refute that without the emotion, without the, oh, he said it in a certain way and he talked to the wrong person? He's literally said that in 3 months, John Karony has made $5 million. He was fucking living in a trailer park before. He admits it. He literally posted it on Instagram. He was living in a trailer or whatever. And suddenly he has $5 million to throw. Where did the money come from? Was he getting paid $1 million a month? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I'd love to answer that. And for information, guys, I don't get emotional, right? I'm literally I'm choosing to do this because there's a lot of people talking.
Bro, just answer the question.
Yeah, I would
answer the question.
Yeah, I will. John was making how much as a deputy at his government job? 6 figures? How much was that trailer worth, actually? You guys call it like a trailer park
Bro,
thing.
it's nothing to
How
do
much
with the
was that
$5
actually worth?
million he called.
Yeah, it's an RV, my bad. It's an RV.
$5 million
Fudhound just said
mansion.
he put into the project. How much did Fudhound and his girlfriend put into the project? How much do you think John could have put into the project early on?
John didn't put shit into the
So
project.
did he put that 30? So the Fudhound, right? So the Fudhound, did he put that 30 grand into the project, or did he put it into John Karony's wallet?
See, these aren't constructive conversations. A constructive conversation is that you guys think you have evidence of money moving, and I looked at it. Where's the LP withdrawal? Okay.
Dude, oh my God, this guy is dumber than
This is
Rocky.
going nowhere.
Why?
Okay, why don't we let Coffee? Why don't we let Coffee reiterate? Why don't we let Coffee reiterate? He's got all the evidence. Coffee, can you please explain to us your case?
Done here,
Why
boys.
don't you get a better mic
done.
brain? How about that?
We got
I'm almost done,
TNG
boys.
too.
So when you're developing an exchange, what do you need? Liquidity, right? Right? When you're developing an exchange, you need liquidity, right?
Didn't they steal?
When liquidity is sent to you,
No.
what is it? What is liquidity? Is liquidity a single token, or is liquidity a pair?
Sam, do you want us to respond, or you like keep saying like don't
Go
respond
ahead.
until I'm finished talking? Can I respond?
Sure thing, bud.
Yeah. So the liquidity, no matter what you say about like, oh, it was meant for development or whatever, you have the simple situation of Safemoon said there was no way for the developers to make money until 4 years after the project because the LP was locked auto-magically, right? That was their words, not mine. That's what they said. So no matter what they want to say about like development, that was just their promise to investors to take them safely to the moon. Obviously, we all know that's a lie. Nobody even tries to debate that anymore. Everyone knows that that was a big farce, right? So we know they stole money. Now the only question is, well, did they steal money for themselves or did they steal money for this quote, quote, development? Okay, so you have a $5 million investment from John Karony into this quote, quote, Dark Moon Area 32 thing. We now know from John Karony's mother, who I don't think she would have any reason to lie, said that John Karony put his own personal wealth into that. So when you say, oh, they're spending millions of dollars to invest, you mean John Karony is spending $5 million that he took from Safemoon to put it into his own name, which the Safemoon army would have no claim to. That's what you actually mean, whether you realize it or not. So where did that money come from, if not the LP, when we all agree and know that they had no other way to make money?
That's wrong. Again, remember your 2-hour-long video with Papa? What is an AMA? Please tell me, because in your 2-hour-long video, you said 100 times that you don't understand. If you actually take the time to Google it, you can see.
Answer the
And by the way, crypto control
I'm
got
out
his hand
because
up
I
for
can't
like
even get my message. Everyone, 5 people can jump on me, but
Sam
I can't
is very
even
logical.
talk. It's cool.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about how an exchange needs liquidity. I get it. We don't want to talk about how.
Sam, you can't just come into a space and shout at people and expect to not answer their questions when they put something back at you. You've asked Coffee a question, Coffee's answered, now Coffee's asking you a question. Where did John get the money? Answer Coffee's question or get the fuck out.
Yeah, can you actually refer to my prior statement of how much money was he earning as a government employee? Did he invest into the own thing that he was working on potentially? Why are these not?
I'm sorry. I launched him. Crypto Control has a question. Go ahead, Crypto Control. He can come
Now
back
we're
up, but he
launching
needs to
people.
settle down.
Wow.
Well,
Nah, that's not cool, Sky.
No, he can come back up, but he needs to settle down because he's not even answering anything and he's deflecting everything.
Worst 365 ever.
Mickey, I'm gonna launch your ass too if you don't stop. It's not 365.
No, but according to him, everybody else is wrong. According to him, everybody else is
Whatever
wrong.
happened to that
He's being asked
guy?
a simple question.
Did 365?
What happened? Okay.
Whatever happened to the 365 guy? Did he leave like all the other Safemoon influencers?
What 365 guy?
365 guy.
Oh, the guy Dark Moon. What? No, or like the Safemoon After Dark, Chris Harris.
Oh,
he's still around.
365. He's a whole other animal.
Quick rundown. 365 is the quote unquote fodder space. This is where everybody who doesn't like Safemoon comes to talk about it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I meant the Chris Harris guy.
But
I
according
go to
to
Safemoon
this guy,
Joe
it's
is now
365.
Squid
I
Grow Joe,
apologize.
which I think is funny.
He's still around. He's just launching a shitcoin, so he's been really like nice
Yeah,
lately.
he's your next
No,
project.
Chris
He's
Harris
going
launching a
for that.
shitcoin? No
Yeah.
Just
way.
hang on. Just to make a quick
Are you
point
really
to that,
surprised?
to that fucking chub who was speculating that John used, his alleged six-figure salary that he's just pulled out as an arsehole. We know that the original Safemoon US LLC was registered to this dumpy little house, which is literally in the middle of a fucking ghetto. So, he's on, what, six figures? That's anything between $100,000 to $999,000 per year. And he's living in an absolute fucking ghetto suburb. I don't think so. What a fucking stupid excuse from a fucking maggot of a person.
Well, and even if John put like $100,000 into Safemoon, it still doesn't justify all of the money that has been moved out of the liquidity pool.
But even if Sam was correct, even if he had some logical explanation, John was like the most highly paid army man like in history. If he was making $999,000 a month or a year, excuse me,
response to that?
he still would not be able to make $5 million in
back
3
up
months.
the concept of other investments. I mean, why wouldn't the lifestyle represent wealth from other investments if that's where he pulls personal, money for the investment from? Is he still on speaker?
No,
I launched him. He can come back up. I just wanted him to calm down because he's not letting anyone else talk. Crypto Control has his hand up.
Hey, I just wanted to make a couple points really fast. And one is that Fudhound is gone, but he was saying, why are people attacking me whenever I was here for the community and I was doing everything for you? And we all know that everybody loved Thomas. Everybody loved Ryan. Everybody loved me. But as soon as you are not part of the dream of everybody being rich, you become the enemy and logic goes out the window. And it's directly related to what Sam is talking about, that he says that he's logical, but then he starts throwing out random theories that maybe John made enough money while we're looking at blockchain evidence, watching millions of dollars of Tether go from the Bitmart account to his Kraken account, connected to all his wallets that Coffee and his team found. The last thing I wanted to say was to Coffee, and it was kind of that everybody that I've talked to, because I've reached out to as many people as I can, and everything that you guys found, it's like the worst FUD of Safemoon came down to John Karony, and the worst FUDder of Safemoon is John Karony. But when it comes to the Bitmart deal, everybody working around him, it's like not many people know. Like maybe a couple people around John actually know the agreement between the Bitmart deal. Otherwise, it seems like even as close as people don't have those details. So they're not able to become out whistleblowers because they don't know exactly where he got that money from. And that's where the fraud occurred.
Can I get your opinion on this? Coffezilla got it completely wrong in his first video. There was no Bitmart LP agreement, or at least not to the degree that they think. All the tokens which were removed to liquidity were sent to a Bitmart deposit address, which also received tokens from the Gabe wallet. John told Thomas to remove tokens from liquidity, send them to John's Bitmart account, and then sold them. We know this because John also sent Safemoon tokens from the Gabe wallet and presumably sold them. So Thomas told Coffee that there's some deal. There's probably no evidence that actually happened. More likely, John just sold the tokens, and Thomas didn't know any better, so Thomas told Coffee that, and then that's how the story spreads. And I've said that for like 6 months. No one listens, but that's my opinion.
Because you sound like Miss Doubtfire, motherfucker.
It's definitely possible, Amy. That's definitely possible that that's true. I'll say I have emailed the Bitmart team, and they don't seem to be denying that there was an agreement in place, some kind of agreement. So the exact specifics of it, you're right. We don't know. We don't know if John didn't just sell it. I agree that he might have just sold it, and that way he can just hide the big sell from the decentralized exchanges. But I do want to just say, like, there is evidence that there was some kind of real deal out there.
Yeah, I had heard about that deal, like, through Ginger hearing about it, like, in June or something, like, long before it ever just surfaced. So I think there is some truth to it.
What about the money that was hacked on Bitmart in the agreement that John made with Bitmart?
Yeah, that one's really weird to me because it's like Bitmart got all their tokens back. Where did the money go to exchange for those tokens?
Wasn't it like 60 something million or something like that was stolen?
I can't remember the exact amount, but it was a fuck ton.
All I know is when I talked to Papa, he kept telling me that like he would be calculating one thing, like they should have this amount of money, and then John would always come back and they didn't have the amount of money that he said that like he calculated they should have. So I get the impression that like Papa always thought maybe he was like bad at math with that stuff, but in all likelihood he wasn't bad at math and John was just selling or doing something like that, doing something shady behind the scenes. That's like a fun like behind the scenes anecdote for what was actually happening with Bitmart. We still don't know though because they haven't told us.
Yeah, and you have to actually believe Thomas too to believe the things he says, and he has lied in the past as well. So I'm not saying everything he says is a lie, but also he's on the side of something trying to cover his own ass as well.
For sure, definitely true. Does anybody have any more questions? I've got some work to do, but I want to take any. I try to make myself available for the community anytime that I do a story. So if anyone has any more comments, questions, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, there are a couple people trying to get on stage. So everyone who wants to talk, throw your hands up, and then I'll let them up before Coffee takes off.
I'm going to dip in a second. I just had one thing to say. Probably very rare from me to give defense of somebody who worked in Safemoon, but I think when Ryan was being attacked by, was it Sam who was saying, why did you promise, or Venom, I don't know, who said, why did you promise to refund the V1 100% holders? I think that Ryan said that by default because by default it's the decent thing to do. It's the moral thing to do. And then obviously John thought differently. But I think that, Ryan probably thought, well, of course we'll refund the people who accidentally got all of their money taken off them.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, definitely. Anybody else have any thoughts, questions about the video? Crypto Control, do you have anything?
Yeah, actually, I did have one question. And I think I already know the answer, but I figure it's worth asking. For me, I personally don't want to lead somebody on to buy or sell, because if something happens to take off, then I don't want to be the person that like talked them out of it. Do you feel is like your position that this is most likely going to zero and that the best thing people can do now, because some people have a lot still invested in it, is to take out their position right now?
I also try to avoid any like hardcore lines in that. I mean, it's hard for me to not say too much because I really do believe so strongly that this thing is going to zero and that it was all built on a fraud. So there's only so much I feel like the moral thing to do is actually equip people with that information, and then if they decided to sell it, that's up to them. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. People got screwed over by this terrible investment, and now they're stuck holding the bag. Yeah, it's a dicey situation, but in my opinion, unless you believe in the leadership for some reason, and I just don't think there's any evidence for that, I don't think this is going anywhere but down. And that's just my opinion. I think you just have to, educate yourself as an investor. Anybody else? Irish racer?
Thanks, Coffee. I just want to say, first of all, congratulations and well done on a fantastic piece of journalism in our modern times. You've done very well with all videos, in fact, and I was a maxi, and as time has went by, I have learned my lesson, but your videos right from the start hurt me so deeply. And that's a great education, and you did well, and it's good journalism, and well done, and you deserve to be commended for that, and it is fantastic, and so well done. My question for you, Coffee, is just simply, do you believe without regulation in the DeFi sphere and in general, like for the crypto market, this is a huge story, but do you feel there will be legal what can you say? Will justice be served to John Karony, in your opinion? Thanks for letting me speak.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I'm always hopeful. I'm hopeful and often disappointed is my answer in all of these kinds of stories. I try never to get too, cynical about things. So I always kind of, do my best to keep my chin up about that, like the actual outcome of these stories. But truthfully, like you're right, it is an unregulated space. There's a chance he gets away with all of it, and that just is what it is. all I can do is try to let people know so more people don't get hurt. Hope that answers your question. Can we go to me hi? And then can we get some more people up here too? Because I want to answer these questions as fast as
Yeah,
possible.
there's just one person waiting.
I think ENS also had a question. Safemoon
Okay.
ENS.
Yeah, hi,
I just wanted to know
thank
who
you.
the fuck launched me.
That was probably Amy after you called her Mrs. Doubtfire.
What?
Hi, thank you for letting me up. Yeah, first of all, I want to bring my appreciation to what Coffezilla is doing. Absolutely fantastic. Please do not give up. I don't know what motivates you, man, but honestly, you are my favorite.
Did he get booted?
Did he get booted? He might have gotten booted. I don't know what
Did
happened
he?
to him. Do we have anything else? Do we have any questions?
Yeah, there's
we
a
have
couple of guys coming up right now.
Safemoon Maxis who want to talk to me. I always like talking.
Bring Sam back up.
Safemoon Al, welcome. What would you like to say?
He's a regular here.
What's going on, Coffee? How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it
He's
going?
John's BFF.
Yeah. Well, me and John's mom are
You
about
hear
to be
me? My
BFFs.
phone's
We're going to
breaking
be
a little bit.
together.
Yeah, you're good, man.
You guys hear me?
You're good, Al.
Nah, I just want.
Yes, you're
I just
good.
want to know, Coffee. Are you an investor at all into crypto? Is it a smart thing to do? Do you own any crypto? If you do, what are the names of it?
I think you should not be taking your advice from me. I don't think you should be taking your advice from anyone on twitter.com for where to put your money. I think that is a very not smart way to invest. And, I've publicly said that I hold a small amount of crypto in the top 10 market caps. I never say names because, quite frankly, nobody knows if they're going to be going up or down. Anyone who tells you they do is a liar. I wanted exposure to the market because I just wanted to kind of know what everyone's getting into. I have to know what I'm talking about, right? But other than that, I just think it's a bad way of approaching things to ask a YouTuber what they're invested in so you can potentially match them or whatever. So all the best to you, though. Anybody else?
I wasn't trying to match you because, from watching your videos, you make it seem like crypto or all crypto is a scam. So I just want to know,
It is.
are you a firm believer in crypto?
I don't know. I don't like the question again, I guess. Are you a firm believer in crypto? Yeah, I don't know. Like, do I think there's going to be some permutation of crypto eventually? Yeah, maybe. But do I like what is that, right? It's kind of silly. It's like asking somebody who's going after the .com bubble and saying, you just seem like you're against the internet. And you're going, no, well, I'm more against all the scams. And if everything in the space are scams, it may appear like I'm against crypto as a whole, but that's never been my stance. Okay, next, who's up?